Good day, everyone, and welcome to Obidient Family TV. The program is Hope Alive. Yes, there is hope in Nigeria. If you believe that a new Nigeria is possible, give us thumbs up at the comment section. On a good morning, afternoon, and evening, depending on our time zone. Today, Obidient Family TV has come out again to have discussion on what is happening in Nigeria, especially what is trending on these bandits showcasing ransom money, alleged ransom money, probably collected from Kaduna. As we can see from the mainstream media, even Arise TV has broadcasted that somebody who came to their studio, who happens to also be a former military, saying categorically that ransom was actually paid. And if this is it, we wonder the kind of audacity that these bandits have to actually show their face against the Nigerian Naira. We call on the federal government, we call all our gallant officers and the security operatives to fish these people out and actually deal with them. So we are going to have a discussion on that. And we are also going to discuss all the comments about people who are asking questions of whether actually ransom was paid, where it was paid, how much was paid, and all of that. So before we get to that, we will also have a discussion on His Excellency P2B's tour of the northern states, especially the visit to Kanu, where he met with other Muslim faithfuls and broke fast at the Jumu'ah mosque yesterday. And I'm not the only one to talk about this. I have Divine in the studio.
Welcome and thank you for joining us on today's episode. Let's have these conversations.
Yes, and coming up with this conversation, let's start first before we get to the questions surrounding His Excellency P2B's tour of the northern states. Let's start with this very viral video that is actually giving concern to most Nigerians, especially well-meaning Nigerians. How bandits now have to come out and flaunt it on our face, especially the Nigerian Naira, to tell us as if much is not being done to secure the nation. But we know that our own officers, the gallant Nigerian soldiers, are doing their best to secure this country and make it a very happy place to live on. So we give them kudos, but we also envisage that such acts of audacity coming out from these bandits must be checkmate, especially as they are showing their faces. They should have some sort of facial matching or all those kind of recognition technologies to be able to decipher, because this person actually posted this on his TikTok page before other people, retweeted it on X.
Well, I don't mean to actually make it look like our armed forces are not ready or are not properly equipped, but I think you give them, or you expect so much of them, thinking that they have some form of facial recognition system working. Because I understand that when the students were kidnapped, the bandits actually called them, reached out to them to demand ransom, and nobody was able to track them. And so you have to be able to do the basics of even tracking a number that calls you for ransom before we get to the more elite part of facial recognitions and all of that. But I just think it's very brazen on the part of these bandits, because coming on TikTok to admit, whether it is for clout or for whatever reason, it is just something that is very fragile and a very serious matter that should be taken very seriously, as they are taking in Sheikh Gumi for questioning over his alleged link to bandits and banditry. They should also be taking up these people, because you can't come out on our space, on our online platforms, to actually make very bogus and very audacious statements and flaunting money. And so if it is a situation of somebody just clout chasing, they should nip it in the bud. And at the same time, if there's any amount of truth in it, because there's no smoke without fire, then the security operatives should swing into actions and make sure that they bring these people to book, because it is just very blatant and brazen.
And this is just coming out just when this 200 and something school children, 137 school children were actually released from Kaduna. Right. And the state government doesn't want to come open whether ransom was paid or not. But what we see from this is we are hearing from different sources, especially a tweet coming out from Arise News suggests that ransom was paid. Let's even take a look at that very Arise News tweet. This is coming from mainstream media that somebody who was there, a former probably Commodore was there, and he said ransom was paid for the release of Kaduna school children. That is Olawumi. And this is a quote from the man, and we are going to be listening to it in a moment. Say, no governor in Nigeria apart from Zulum understands their role as governor. They don't know why they are the chief security officer of a state. He said federal government should take me on the fact that ransom was paid to secure the release of school children. That is Commodore Kunle Olawumi, retired, a former commandant Defense Intelligence College, Abuja. So these are the people who made this. And again, before we bring this man, because we actually had to get him to talk this in as in real form from the Arise studio. But before then, this man said that the federal government should take him up on this. And it's coming on the heels of the release of these school children, right, where they said that ransom was not paid. But when we see somebody displaying huge amount of money, is an alleged bandit displaying it, and they say it's for ransom, we suppose that that is what probably is the Kaduna heist that they did have, that they are now showcasing. But before I get your response, Divine, let's take a listen to what this Commodore Olabumi had to say about this.
From the staff from the governor, I don't trust them. I don't trust them. I was in Saple.
You don't trust the governor of Delta State?
I'm not all of them.
All the governor in the south, even Doe Diri and all of that?
I think the only person I can trust in this country is Zulum of Borno State. I don't want to talk about those governors. They don't even know why they are the chief security officer of a state. They don't even know. What the judge do is to share money and do things, so I don't want to talk about them.
You don't trust their competence or their capacity? Let's get it right.
Both. They're not competent, and when you're not competent, you don't have capacity. Mention of them that has capacity or that is competent, or that is there because of the interests of the people that is there to govern. Mention one. I've mentioned Zulum. So let's talk about them. Let's look at the issue of Delta. You know, you have the Joy, Robo, you have all those. You know, I used to go on combat patrol in Warri, where they will write in their building. This is Isokoman House. Yeah. They write and all those. That was during the fight. Yeah, they've always been having this conversation. And I'm talking about like 1993, 1994. You know? But the other question you're asking, the third question was about, that's the last question you asked now. Yeah,
I was like fighting across the front, the war economy. That's the fact that, do you think that even ransom was paid in this operation? Because
ransom was paid. Let me just answer that one.
Really? Are you sure? You have proof?
Let them debunk it. Let them take me on. The ransom was paid.
In this Kaduna release?
Oh yes, ransom was paid, and that's another area I don't want to talk
about. I asked about proof anyway. I said you have proof, you know, because of the sake of balancing.
I should give you now.
No, just for the sake of balancing.
No. There's ransom was paid. You know, these guys, they took these guys and they said they want 1 billion. So one day they just woke up and they're so happy. And I said, okay, come and take we are tired of them, come and take them. So
Olabumi said ransom was paid. And now we see bandits displaying huge sum of money, alleged ransom payments. Who is to say Commodore Olabumi wasn't telling the truth? Because he said that federal government should take him up on that.
Well, we have to wait to see or hear his proof particularly, but he sounded really confident on the fact that or rather what he thinks is facts, that ransom were paid to these bandits. And so we just have to wait on him to, at least, I mean, if you make a statement that bogus and that, lofty, you have to back it up with some kind of proof, because the situation or the conversation at hand is not something trivial, it's something very, very important. And if you make claims like that, you have to back it up. But he's very very confident, and he says that he dares the federal government to debunk
that is area I was even coming from, that he has actually thrown a punch to the federal government by telling them that they should die. You understand? So even if he is not going to provide that proof that was asked of him in that studio as at that very time, he was very emphatic about a certain fact, as if it is known to him.
Well, I think it is a bait, to be very honest, because, I mean, even if we don't get any concrete proof from him, someone made that very bogus allegation about me, and I have to come prove my innocence, then it is necessary that you employ every tactic necessary to actually show that you're clear of this allegation. So I think it's a bait. It's a 50-50 thing. There's a possibility that there's no actual or concrete proof, but he's baiting the government to actually come and prove their innocence to Nigerians. So he said there was no ransom was paid, and the government is saying ransom was not paid. So it is just a matter of who is able to prove to us within beyond reasonable doubts that, okay, you know what, my points are actually very factual. So we're just watching, and we'll report as the story unfolds.
I think one of the things I want to also add here is that we are happy that these children has been released, you understand, irrespective of whether ransom was paid or not. After all, they have been paying ransom that we have been seeing, and all that makes no difference. So the case of this bandit who is displaying money, whether it is the money that came from Kaduna or not, it really doesn't bother us whether it's money from Kaduna or not, but we are bothered that they should be caught. They should be in the prison to answer all the atrocities that they have committed against the Nigerian people. So we applaud our military as they go on safeguarding Nigeria and East Territory. Let's also take a listen to what Governor of Kaduna State had to say about it, especially about the military operation. Let's take a listen.
Just like a medical doctor has his priority. So for me, honestly speaking, I trust our armed forces. I believe in our armed forces. I believe in our security agents, all of them, because when all this incident happened, a lot of military personnel have lost their lives in the last years. And even only a few days ago, we had military officers been killed in Delta State, police were killed in Delta State, and of course, military are killed in different states of Nigeria. So we should always celebrate our military than to bother ourselves asking them questions on how they succeed or how they fail.
That is coming from Obasani, the governor of Kaduna State, who said that we should always celebrate our military, not bother ourselves asking how they succeed or failed. Okay, I think this very part, we wait to see the outcome of the challenge that Commodore Lawumi has thrown to the federal government to see if, but again, note that if government takes the bait, there's a reasonable probability that the exposure of most of those things will start happening. So if it is a bet, I guess they should actually leave him alone, because he has said it, and he should just rest with that. Let's pray that we'll recover or rescue the rest of the children who are still in captive. Okay, so let's now move ahead to on our own PO, who has been going. A lot of questions has been asked on why His Excellency P2B has been visiting the northern states. Some people go on line and say a whole lot of things of why shouldn't His Excellency P2B be dealing with the Muslims in the southeast and south. Why is he going up north? Citing major political concerns and political interest. Well, I know I'm talking to Obidient, and I know I'm talking to well-meaning Nigerians. PO has been very clear both on speaking out on why he is going to these places, and one of them that sticks to my head is forming formidable alliances. If we are to move to the new Nigeria we are envisaging, then it means that PO at this very point in time have to go, especially at this very Ramadan season, that is even a season that our own Muslim brothers have their rest and focus more on God. And that is why probably using this very time to go visit with them, commiserate with them, and also do support for them, moving towards the direction of a new Nigeria that we are talking about. So this is him from Kanu. We have talked about being in Sokoto, in Zamfara, and different other states, but this very one coming out from, I think one he visited the Emir's Palace, right, and also outside of the Skyline University. And he also said one or two things that we want to showcase. Let's get his tweet where he where he explains some of the reason why he is going around, and then we'll come back to studio to talk on this and then showcase this video. His Excellency P2B. This is the tweet that is from X handle of P2B that says, yesterday my team and I continued our nationwide tour with a visit to the ancient city of Kanu, where we engaged in a series of impactful activities. Our first stop was to honor an invitation by the proprietor of Skyline University, which we also discussed that same yesterday, and we saw pictures and all of those things that His Excellency has been doing. So let's continue from this very tweet, which has garnered more than 95K at the time of production. It's a pioneering privately owned institution in the city. This visit underscored the significance of private sector investment in education and goes further to highlight the potential for collaboration among private institutions to enhance access to quality education in the region. During our visit, I urged people to reconsider sending their children abroad at very high cost for education and instead consider institutions like Skyline University, Base University, and others. Following our visit to university, I also had the privilege of paying a courtesy visit to His Royal Highness Alhaji Dr. Aminu Ado Bayero, CFR, the Emir of Kano, as a gesture of respect to the Reverend Monarch and the Tobingiwa people. Continued our mission of service, I proceeded to commission a borehole in Dadlin local government area of Kano State, constructed as our token contribution to the people, in addition to providing vital access to clean water for the community. I also extended a small cash assistance to approximately 100 individuals in need, reaffirming our commitment to uplifting the less privileged members of our society. Furthermore, we joined the Muslim faithful at the Alamsa Jumat Mosque, where we provided food for over 1,000 people and shared fellowship in the breaking of the fast during the holy month of Ramadan. Our participation in this communal activity highlighted our respect for the religious and cultural traditions of the region, as well as our willingness to engage with individuals from diverse backgrounds. Overall, our visit to Kano during this Ramadan season was characterized by acts of service, collaboration, and mutual respect. Through our collective efforts, we continue to inspire positive change and foster unity across Nigeria. As we see and feel more of the vibrant diversity of our land and its people, the more our belief is confirmed in the conviction that a new Nigeria is indeed possible. Wow, what a very long tweet. I think going forward, we should be, summarizing these tweets and, provide it to the Obedience so that they can go and actually read and see all the comments, because I know there is a lot of comments that are coming out from there. But basically, what PO is talking about is the questions that are being asked across board on people who are insinuating he's doing eye service and all of it. But for me, even if it is eye service, let it be. The important thing is that he has said why he's doing it, and we can see clearly he's helping people wherever he goes, and he said he's forming an alliance, and it's all for the general good of the Nigerian people.
Well, it's a very expensive eye service that he is doing, right? Because I mean, it costs him money to actually sink these boreholes in, rural areas across the country, and it benefits the common man, it benefits Nigerians, it benefits you and I, and so I'm all for good as long as it's coming from him, to be honest, because the people who try to make it look like he's politicizing it, he already answered them, and he said that there is no election, meaning if you're trying to paint it that he's going around trying to canvass for votes, we still have 3 years ahead. We're yet to be into one complete year of the current administration, so it doesn't seem very likely to say that these visits to these places are actually politically motivated. He's just doing what he has always done from time immemorial, just going around and acquainting himself with the struggle, acquainting himself with people's religion, because he understands that we are more than our religion and we are more than our tribe. We're just individuals who stay in the same country, who have a common need and a common goal to meet. And so he's past the level of actually playing politics that is tribal or religious. So people who have a lot to say about these visits, I think that they should brace up, because there's still a lot more that's going to be coming, and then he's still going to visit a lot more places. So
let's get some sound bite from this PO visit, and when we come back, we'll talk more on the need moving forward as Obidient awaits our launching of all the Obidient family cooperative societies across Nigeria. Let's take a listen, a sound bite from PO store of the Northern States.
Shopping for this opportunity of serving me again. This thank you most sincerely. I don't take it for granted. I'm in Kanu, and I do wish you at this Ramadan period, festive period, we're going around various places. So, we keep back this year. Just going around what I can consider some good gestures of going around to support.
Let's come back to Studio Divine. As we can see, His Excellency P2B has, is putting the groundwork going. But before I even let you come on this discussion, I want to really address some Obedients who are asking a whole lot of questions across our platforms, especially why P2B is going around the northern states and, communing with our own Muslim brothers. I think this will lay those questions to rest. And again, the question about the Labour Party crisis and about their convention, we don't want to jump the gun here because we are Obidient Family TV. And except His Excellency P2B talks on this very convention or speaks about them before we can be able to so we can't preempt him. He needs to look at it from the perspective of whether the NLC or the Labour Party, and then put us in the right direction, because we are the one that we are following his footstep. So the questions about the upcoming convention of the Labour Party, or the crisis that is coming between Abure and the NLC, all of those things, please, let's keep, we'll continue keeping mute on them until His Excellency P2B decides to talk on them. But what we want to remind you on the other questions coming about the Obidient Family Cooperative Society, we want to tell you that, as I mentioned yesterday, that a fellow Obidient, a supporter of P2B, who is from Delta State, has already said he's going to take charge of the finances of registration of Obidient Family Cooperative Society in all the local governments in Delta States. So for all of you who are in Delta, in your respective local government, it's simply for you to go to your local government and get the name registered. Reach out to the Obidient Family TV here, and then we'll now fund it as our own person who had promised to make payments for those things. So when those things are due, do contact us at Obidient Family TV, so that we sort we'll request for the release of those funds that are going to be paid for those local governments. And then let me use this opportunity also to show you, you that are in different local governments. We have our brother who is from Kaduna, and we have another one from FCT, and other people who said they are going to go this week to make those registrations in their respective local government. How the certificate we have gotten, how it looks like. So I want to show you the already registered cooperative from the one we did in Anambra State, how it looks like. It may look differently from what you have in your own local government. But however, this is what we have. So producer, I want you to display the certificate of registration of the Obidient Family Cooperative Society, the one that happens to be in Awka, Anambra State. And then we are expecting that this registration should go across the whole 700 and something local governments in Nigeria. So if you go for that very registration, please do reach out to us and tell us the cost implication to register it. It only takes 10 members, just 10 members to get it registered. And once you have gotten it, you give us the breakdown of the cost implication. This very one is the this thing of the cooperative society. This one of the handbook of the decree, where it's talking about everything that has to do with the law on cooperative society. For those people who doesn't understand what is cooperative society and or how it works, this is the handbook. Then we have the second one that that has to deal with the bylaw of this. This is members passbook. This is also offered, given to us by the Anambra State government, I think from the Ministry of Trade and Commerce. That is where this is coming. This is a members passbook. Then there's another one that is a handbook again, that is a bylaw of this very Obidient Family Cooperative Society. Okay, you can see it. There is a bylaw of it. This is just registered in February. That is just last month. Then let's also show you the certificate of registration, as you can see. So these are just the major things that we want to show you, that you can go to different local governments where you are. We want to make sure that we start this from the grassroots, that we stand it with a solid foundation. Just 10 persons is enough to register this cooperative, and also have even a bank account, so that if we want to support you, we have the bank account of this cooperative society to support you, as we have other Obedients who are willing and has signified their willingness to support Obidient Cooperative Society in their respective local government. We are not doing it centrally. We might have our own central committee, but we want all cooperative to function at the local government level so that we know that each production of the agricultural things that we want to start going into, that they are local government based. And then we also know that our strong base, our grassroots mobilization is also this thing. And by the time we push this cooperative society, in the next 1-2 years, we should be very ripe for somebody to ask us the question about the structure. And we say, yes, Obidient Cooperative Society have a very solid structure that can go into any relationship with any party that His Excellency P2B chooses to be on. Be it Labour Party, be it any other party, we will come in our mass. And as you know, now that he is visiting all of these places like the northern state, assuming that they are already registered, we will see that our cooperatives will be there to welcome the members of his team that are visiting these places. Recall, His Excellency P2B said he's going to do a thank you tour of Nigeria to thank all obedient and well-meaning Nigerians for what they have done through last year and going forward all the same. He still has not given out the date he's going to embark on this thank you tour, but we want to see how we could actually organize and register this cooperative so that when he comes towards your end, you show that the Obidient Cooperative Society is right there to welcome him. With this, I will want to say thank you for paying attention. And don't forget that Saturdays are the meeting days of Obidient Family Cooperative Society. 9 p.m. is the time every Saturday for now. Join us. The link is on this very video. And also I want to mention what the Obidient Cooperative Society has done in collaboration with this fish production plants that I keep showing our people. Producer, please do show them again. We are producing massive fingerlings that we need people that will join us on this production that is going on from this very facility. We intend to churn out millions of fingerlings that will be spread across all the people who are into fish farming for grow out. So we are looking for people who are going to join us to make sure that these very massive productions we are doing right now is going to be pushed into grown out production of fishes, big fish. So please do also contact us if you wish to join us on this very particular venture. This is a venture, a business of its own, but it is in collaboration with the Obidient Family Cooperative Society. So please indulge us. Our numbers are there on this very description of this video. Join our Obidient Family Cooperative community platform. The WhatsApp platform link is also in this very video. Until we come your way again to bring what is happening in Nigeria and also to introduce some other things that or other discussions that Obedience are bringing out for us to talk about, we remain yours from Obidient Family TV. Bye for now.
Happy being here with all of you. I'm brought to attend here, we brought food so that we can breakfast and eat together as brothers and to assure you that my commitment that we have in Nigeria, where poor people can live a better life, can be employed, have peace of livelihood, and we live together as one.